What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to talk about one of the Season 5 Pinnacle Rewards. This is the one from the Vanguard that leads to the loaded question fusion rifle. And the question really becomes, is it worth the grind to get this weapon? While the grind is nowhere near as crazy as it was in Season 4 with Bredrick's Broadsword and Luna's Howl, it still will take you some time to get this weapon. Number 1, make sure you pick up the quest from Zavala, and keep in mind that this quest is tied to your character. So whichever character you grab it with, you have to finish it in its entirety with that character. Number 2, there are 3 requirements to get this quest done. The thing that will take the longest is getting done 40 Vanguard or Nightfall strikes. That will take definitely the longest because you can't just knock those out in an afternoon. Within those strikes, there's 2 things you have to do. You need to get 500 fusion rifle kills, and you need to get 1,000 arc kills. So for the arc kills, make sure that you're using your arc subclass, and then also make sure you're using an arc fusion rifle and an arc linear fusion rifle. Both the linear fusion rifle and the fusion rifle will count towards the 500 fusion rifle kills. So for those, I was going to use Queenbreaker and main ingredient. Main ingredient is great to use. You always have ammo for it, and it still has pretty high impact to take out most enemies. For Queenbreaker, if you don't have that, go to your collections and grab the Tarantula linear fusion rifle, and that will be a nice weapon to use for both the arc kills and the fusion rifle kill portion. But by far, the thing that will take the longest is getting done the 40 strikes. Once you're done those 3 things, you will be rewarded with the loaded question fusion rifle. Now let's take a look at the perks and see exactly what this thing's made of. You'll notice right away that this is fully masterwork, and it is a stability masterwork, which is pretty nice. The impact for this is very, very high, so this will be a weapon you can use to take out strong enemies as well as mobs of enemies. The cool thing about this is it has a signature perk that is unique to this weapon and this weapon alone, and that is the Reservoir Burst. And when the battery is full, your next burst will deal additional damage, and it will cause enemies to explode. So it almost has like a Firefly type perk to it. Along with that, you have auto-loading holster, so this will work in conjunction with the Reservoir Burst. You have ionized battery, and you have a red dot sight. So let's try this thing out. I threw on the targeting adjuster as a mod, but I'm curious to see what people think. And I threw on one of these cool new black Armory paint jobs. So let's try this thing out. So you'll notice right away that because I have 7 shots, the Reservoir Burst is activated. And you'll notice that, I'll find one of these guys. So right there, that guy exploded. So just to compare it, I don't have Reservoir Burst activated right now because my magazine is not full, and it's just a regular fusion rifle. But if I reload, then once I have 7 shots again, I have Reservoir Burst activated. And there you go, a Firefly type effect. So this is something here where you're going to want to use the auto-loading holster to your advantage to make sure you always have Reservoir Burst activated. And that's what's going to make this weapon really shine over other fusion rifles, because the explosion will take out a lot of enemies like you saw right there. So I'm going to switch weapons really quick. We'll wait a second, and then we'll switch back, and we have Reservoir Burst activated again. So that helps mitigate the slow reload speed on this weapon. Now, one thing to keep in mind too, and my buddy Goat did point this out, because you're going to need a lot of ammo for this to make sure you always have 7 shots, you want to use armor that has fusion rifle scavenger. And that will really come in handy to make sure that when you are picking up special ammo, you're getting a bunch of it and allowing yourself to always have at least 7 shots, because if you're less than 7, then you won't have this perk activated. And that's really what's going to make this weapon really, really useful in PvE. But the question becomes, how useful can it be in PvP? So to demonstrate, I'm going to go into a private match, and we'll see exactly how far this thing can hit and how much damage it can do with the Reservoir Burst, and also with just the regular shot as well. So let's head over to a private match, and we'll test this thing out in Crucible. Alright, so we are in a private match right now, and we want to see exactly how far away this weapon can kill somebody with the Reservoir Burst perk active. Now keep in mind, the only time that perk is active is if you have a full 7 shots. And to be honest, in Crucible, that might be pretty rare because you only start out with 2. Now, to maximize your chances, though, make sure you're using gauntlets and a class item that both give you fusion rifle scavenger. That way, anytime you take somebody down, you're getting at least 3 or 4 shots every time you pick up a special ammo brick. But we have Reservoir Burst active, we're pretty far away, and we want to see exactly how much damage this weapon will do with that signature perk. So the Firefly did take out Raz there with one shot. Now we want to see as well if this can take down 2 people with that Firefly active. So we're going to find our 2 buddies here, and we're going to see if they can jump over there and hop in together. Now we want to see if the Firefly explosion can take out 2 people at once, because that really is going to be the determining factor if this is worth it in PvP. So it didn't quite take down the second person there. I was hoping that this would take down 2 people, but that really kind of limits the effectiveness of this weapon in PvP. So based on these tests here, guys, I think this is much more of a PvE weapon. While it can have some value in Crucible, the fact that you're not going to have Reservoir Burst active that many times, and the fact that the explosion doesn't quite kill the second person, that's really going to limit how effective this weapon is in PvP. So, in short, guys, I do think it's worth getting this weapon because it's the only fusion rifle that has Reservoir Burst. Honestly, you'll probably get this weapon just in your casual play anyway, and... Sorry, I had to take these guys down. So, yeah, you'll get this weapon regardless of just playing the game normally. And I do think it's a fun weapon to use in PvE. Not quite as good in PvP, but I think it may take some additional tests here, and I'm curious what other people think. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Most importantly, though, best of luck getting loaded questions, best of luck getting any other Pinnacle reward, and have fun with Black Armory when that comes out. Thanks for watching.